All right. These movie news episodes are just going to be whenever I feel like there's enough news to talk about. Again, if you have any other news stories you'd like me to cover, drop them in the comments below. So first, let's talk about what I'm looking forward to this week. So of course, I'm recording this on a Wednesday. Um, so what I'm looking forward to this week is Flora and Ulysses. This is a Disney Plus original movie. Um, it is it's about this squirrel. It looks like it has some Marvel references in it. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be. I've heard mixed things from early screenings. It looks kind of generic and kind of bad, but I always give these Disney Plus movies a chance. I haven't been impressed with any of them. I mean, some people might argue Hamilton, but that's more of a Broadway thing than an actual movie thing. So we'll see. And then on Hulu that day, we also have a Fox Shirtlight picture that is going to do Hulu exclusively, and I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's basically about like a woman who lives in a van and kind of what goes on with that. Interesting movie. I can't say um, I know much about it or I'm like really excited about it, but I'm curious about it, so I will be reviewing that, checking these out. There will be reviews for both of these dropping probably Friday. And then we have a review for WandaVision episode 7. Episode 7. I still can't believe we're on episode 7. That means next week is episode 8, and the week after is the last episode. So that's all the episodes for the show, which, crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this week. Muppet Show dropping. I still haven't decided whether I'm just going to binge through all the episodes or do a massive review of all of it. Or do like episode by episode reviews. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. I'm also checking out the Boondocks on HBO Max, so expect a review for that coming out this week. I know they're supposed to do a reboot on HBO Max, so I know that I haven't heard anything about that, but yeah. All right, so let's talk about the news. I kind of have the least to say about. There was a teaser that dropped this week. A lot of people were really frustrated because Infinity Train was canceled, kind of, and kind of not, where it was in a state where it wasn't officially renewed, but it wasn't canceled either. And so people didn't know, are we getting another season? Are we not? And so there's a teaser that just dropped today that said Infinity Train Book 4 incoming. So I think what that means is that this next season is going to be a final season. Basically, if they can drop a teaser saying it's coming soon, that probably means that they've already made this season, and they're going to release it sometime in the next upcoming months. And so production is finished with it, so there's nothing left to make of it, and it is canceled behind closed doors. Now, or it means that if the season does really well, they will make more. But it all depends on the success of the season. So I'd just say if you really want Infinity Train to do well, sign up for HBO Max. Watch it day one. Tell people to watch it. Introduce people to it. You know, talk to friends and say, hey, you should sign up for HBO Max or and check out this show. You know, just talk more about it. Post about it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media you have. Create buzz about it, and then you know maybe more people will check it out and try to make it a success. Do what you can to promote this. Um, every time a trailer comes out, tweet about it. Anytime any kind of news comes out about it, tweet about it. You know, maybe if you like the show enough and you're willing to rewatch it, then rewatch it. You know, show people that there's an interest. Um, I think they see that there's a lot of fan demand for this series, so I think if they're willing to do that, cool. I don't have too much to say about it because I'm not an Infinity Train fan. I'm not into the series the same way everybody else is. I liked the first season fine enough. I think the pacing was really bad, and that's what bugged me about it. I feel like this was a show that needed more episodes, but they wanted to do an anthology thing, but I didn't feel like they needed to. And it did lead some to interesting stories. I really disliked season 2. I found it incredibly boring. Season 3 was very good, and but it's just I'm not into it though. Like I can say it's objectively speaking well written, well put together, but I'm not into it, and so that's kind of where I'm at with that. There was a trailer that dropped for season 2 of The Last Dance, which is a really great ESPN documentary series. This is dropping on Netflix in March. So if you're a big fan of The Last Dance, I think you should check that out. Um, and then speaking of Netflix trailers, Notorious Big has a documentary coming out on Netflix about him. That rapper, I love Notorious B.I.G. He did a lot for black culture, just culture in general, rap music. He did a lot for history that I don't think is quite recognized very well, and so I would like to see a film dive deeper into his life and story and presence within black culture and stuff like that. And this documentary seems like it's going to be doing this. I believe at the very beginning of March this thing is dropping. So I cannot wait to watch it, review this. Yes, sir, this thing is definitely already in my watch list. If you don't know, you can actually go into Netflix, and when something like this that has a trailer out and stuff like that, you can actually go into Netflix, search up the title, and you can get to the page of it, and you can just click save to list. So immediately it will be notified right when it comes out, so that way you never miss anything. And I do this all the time. It's very helpful. So I think Netflix has so much content coming out. It's a great way to stay up to date with things, add things onto your list. Hey, I want to watch this right when it comes out in March. Cool. Well, there it is. You click on it, click save to list, bam. So, the last thing I'm going to be talking about in this episode, Cruella de Vil has a trailer that dropped this week. This is a weird movie because, there's the Disney animated movie 101 Dalmatians, which has a direct-to-video sequel, just like all of them. And this movie had a remake before they were doing Disney live-action remakes. And this was a remake with Glenn Close, and it was a huge success. Like, it was a big movie back in the 90s. It's out of print on DVD. Nobody talks about this film anymore, which just kind of shows how useless these Disney remakes are. The 101 Dalmatians remake does not make Disney money anymore. Nobody talks about it. It's not a big movie on the service, on Disney Plus. It's not a big movie on home media. It's not a big movie at all, except for when it came out. And that's what we're seeing with a lot of these Disney remakes. And then they made a sequel, and then that movie didn't do well. And you're seeing that with Disney announcing like Lion King 2 and Aladdin 2. And it's just, I don't understand it. I understand it from a money perspective. Like, yes, these make money. But even then, it's like they make money for limited periods of time. This isn't a case where, wow, they're making so much money that they have to keep making them. They're making very limited money because you can't sell merchandise on this like you do the animated films. So it's just this odd cycle of things. I know Disney wants to do these for money, but in long-term money, it ain't gonna be worth it. And them trying to make sequels just doesn't make sense. I'm sure some of them will do well, but others won't. And I think the sequel thing is what's gonna kill these. I don't like this. But regardless, they dropped a trailer this morning for Cruella, which is a prequel. I don't know if it's a prequel to the live action movies. I don't think it is, considering nobody talks about them. But it's I think it's got who's it got now? I don't even know. Emma Stone or whatever. It doesn't look right because it looks very dark and kind of. Someone said it felt like Joker a little bit, or like Birds of Prey kind of angle with Harley Quinn, and I would say yeah, it kind of does. It's a weird angle for a children's film, and I don't see the purpose of telling this character's backstory. Like there isn't an interesting story to come out in here. What I found interesting is they're planning to put this out in May in theaters. I don't see that happening. I think this is obviously going to be one of those Disney Plus things. I don't think it's gonna be a premiere access thing. I just don't see that because frankly, this isn't a movie that is worth the premiere access garbage. I think it's just a bleh movie. I'm not excited about it. I'll watch it probably when it hits Disney Plus because that's where it's going. It's not going to theaters. We all know they're not going to be back. I'm ready to go by May. Um, I just I don't know. I don't understand Disney's practice here. I get some of their movies. You know, what are you gonna do with The Kingsman? Right? You're not gonna put that in the theater right now, but you're also not gonna want to put it on Hulu. So delaying that, fine. I understand that. But then but then they keep movies on their schedule too. It seems like they have no goddamn idea of what they're doing. It's just frustrating. I don't know. I wish they had a plan like HBO Max because then I know, all right, well, I'm going to be able to see this movie this year. Whether it's in a condition that I would have preferred or not, I'm still going to be able to see the movie. With this, I'm not, and so I'm just frustrated about that, but whatever. All right, bye, guys. Stay tuned for the next movie news episode. Any news stories you'd like me to cover, drop in the comments down below.